It is often said the project manager spends 70 to 90% of the time communicating, but what does this actually mean? It means that the project manager spends a lot of her efforts on putting together plans and documents to help guide the project, but this is done with a lot of communication. Part of communication involves communicating with superiors to provide responses to requests, to keep them informed, to solicit help, communicating with peers to share ideas for improvement, coordinate activities and provide assistance, communicating with subordinates to issue instructions, to persuade and sell, and to appraise performance. But communication goes far beyond that. Communication involves selecting the proper medium, timing the transmission, seeking and giving feedback, listening actively, and being sensitive to the sender. There's so many facets and dimensions of communicating that the project manager has a tough job to put all of these communications in context and be aware of all of these associated variables. Choosing the right medium, initiating feedback, knowing the right time to send that crucial message. Without a doubt, communicating is what project managers do the most. And that's why this topic of the communications management plan is number 8 on my hit list of things the project manager needs to do a great job. Let's dive into the discussion.
The next stage was inevitably to work on the much talked about WBS, Project Schedule and Cost Baseline. Cold Pincus unceremoniously declared that I had the responsibility of working on the schedule. In other words, it is now my duty to lead the development of a work breakdown structure, resource list, associated project costs, and a monster schedule while working with several other project team members who are already over-allocated in other projects without any sign of availability. I sent out invites for several meetings for the next few days and spent the rest of the afternoon researching the project and collaborating with all the subcontractors and vendors we would likely use on the project. It was a nice change, seeing them in the physical, as opposed to just a hologram. It's amazing how the traditional way of communicating has made it so far in this day and age.
You've probably heard the saying, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. If you fail to plan communications, just forget it. Just forget. Because communications is by far one of the most important pieces on any project. We know projects fail, but projects fail in a massive way due to lack of communication. It's one of the #1 killers of projects, the failure to communicate in an effective manner, the failure to speak to other stakeholders, the failure of the project manager to realize that this is a core ingredient for project success. Follow me to the PMP guide. I want to show you something here really quick. Let's go to page 57. In the PMP guide. Actually, not 57, 53. Let's go there. It says at the bottom of this page, research shows that successful project managers consistently and effectively use certain essential skills. Research reveals, watch this, that the top 2% of project managers, as designated by their bosses and team members, distinguish themselves how? By demonstrating superior relationship and communication skills while displaying a PMA, a positive mental attitude. What can we deduce from page 53? We can deduce that communications is pivotal for project success, and not planning communications could lead to massive project failure. And that's why this is on my hit list of things to know really, really well for your PMP exam. Now, when I ask people what is in the communications management plan, a lot of folks are not able to go into the detail. But do you know that the detail almost crippled a question that I faced on a professional exam? I couldn't believe the minutia I was seeing in this question about the communications management plan. It went into deep detail. For that reason, I would advise you to study so you do not fall into the trap I did. Study with intentionality what I'm about to show you here on page 377. It says, the communications management plan is a component of the project management plan that describes how project communications will be planned, structured, implemented, and monitored for effectiveness. This is where you want to take heed. The plan contains the following. Let me show you a few weird things that most people would not imagine they would find in a communications management plan. Watch this. Second bullet from the bottom, flow charts. Flow charts? Flow charts of the information flow in the project. Now, think about it. If you were on the exam and someone said, flow charts for information flow on the project, and you had quality management plan and communications management plan, you might have been pulled towards the quality side because it's talking about flow charts. But this exists in the communications management plan. Here's another example. Third bullet from the bottom, glossary of common terminology. Would you expect to see that here? Or if I said WBS dictionary as one of the options, would you have chosen that? You might have. A lot of our students do. But glossary of common terminology is here in the communications management plan. So for your test, you need to go through all of these bullets and understand what is in the communications management plan. Here's another example of what you may not expect to find here. Time frame and frequency for the distribution of required information and receipt of acknowledgement or response. The word time frame could throw certain people off. They may think schedule. And that is why, whether you are a native English speaker or not, I highly advise going through all of this stuff with a fine-tooth comb, because you just never know what could throw you off on your exam. If you're getting ready for the PMP exam and you're wondering how on earth you're going to do it, don't worry. Sign up for our project management training. This could be done self-study via Praizion.com, or those of you who love live training with a live instructor, going at a sensible pace, answering your questions, you need to go to the other website, pmsucceed.com, because all year round, we offer training live online. And it's like no other training you've attended. Trust me, very engaging, but no holds as far as questions. We relish answering your questions. We delight in answering your questions. So if that sounds like you want to have some conversation for your preparation, you need to be on pmsucceed.com. Thank you very much. I look forward to seeing you in the next episode.